Okay, so things are set up. So welcome to those who are joining via Zoom as well as YouTube. So I'm going to start today's recording. All right, welcome everyone to ACE Weekly. My name is Avalala, and I teach persons how to use skills that they can use to make their own earning opportunities in an online business or offline. So if you are all about learning new skills so that you can create your earning opportunities, you are in the right place and with the right person. I always say, are you ready to ace it with Ava? All right, so tonight's session, we're going to be looking on common computer problems. Now, the computer is what you use every day in this day and age, and sometimes there are common problems that exist and there are easy fixes to these problems. Who has ever had problems with their computer? Let me know. Have you ever had a problem with your computer? Everyone must have had a problem with their computer at some point in time. Give me a 1 in the chat. Have you ever had a problem with your computer? If you've never had a problem with your computer, you are the odd one out. We have all had problems with our computers, and you'd be surprised that there are easy fixes to these problems. All right, so I'm going to be sharing my screen and discussing some of these with you. All right, so common computer problems and possible solutions. Remember, might not be the only solutions that exist, but these are some that can help you where needs be. All right, so you want to make sure that you are aware of these particular problems. All right, so the first one, the power button will not start the computer. Have you ever experienced this? You're pressing the power button on your computer. And by the way, some persons assume that a computer is a desktop computer, a laptop, or a desktop. They're referred to as a computer, right? So I'm talking about either. So you may press the power button, and everybody knows that the power button is that circular button. And well, the button may not be circular, but the universal power button icon is a circle with a line in there. So know that all devices usually have that particular imprinted icon, whether the button is shaped circular or not. So when you're pressing that button, it's not coming on. What could be the problem where that's concerned? All right, so my camera on the screen may be blocking the PowerPoint. I'm just going to turn it off so we're not blocking that. All right, so check the power cord to make sure that it is plugged securely into the power adapter. Now, for those who have laptops, you know that with your power adapter, the power cord itself that goes into the socket actually plugs into the other part of the laptop. And sometimes if that is loose, you're not going to get any power when you're turning on your laptop. Obviously, a laptop works off of battery. You have some persons who their battery is basically non-existent. It's out, it's run out, and so on. You need to change your battery. So if your battery is not working properly, you're solely dependent on the power adapter. So you want to make sure that your battery is charged and also that your power adapter, you're plugged into all aspects of it. It has happened to me already where my plug is loose and I'm saying, like, what's going on? And sometimes you don't even think of the simple things. You say, okay, mash up. Okay, I need a new laptop. Some people, once they're having any kind of problem, they say, oh, I need a new computer. I need a new this. And sometimes the problem is quite easy. So it says that the battery may not be charged. Plug the AC adapter into an outlet. Then you want to try to turn on the laptop. If it still does not start up, you need to wait a few minutes and try again. Sometimes if it is plugged into an outlet, make sure that it's a working outlet. Sometimes our power sockets or supplies in the house or wherever you are may not be working. Who has ever encountered a faulty switch, a faulty power outlet? I'm sure it has happened to many of us, or we may have not known that that particular power outlet was not working at that point in time. So you need to make sure that the outlet is actually working. And you can do so by testing another appliance, like you want to test a lamp or so on to check if you are getting power. So if the computer is plugged into a surge protector, that may need to be turned on. Sometimes for whatever reason, this surge protector may be turned off, we didn't realize and such, and we need to turn it on to make sure that it is working properly. And as again, you may need to plug in another device to check, because obviously if the computer is not coming on, you want to check another device to see if whatever it's plugged into is actually getting power. So has anybody ever experienced turning on their computer and no power? Let me know in the chat, because this is something that some persons may experience. All right. So those are possible solutions. Check your power adapter, check your actual plug that's in the wall, check your surge protector. There's so many reasons why this may be the issue. And guys, you don't want to be paying somebody to tell that, okay, this needs to have a problem. All right. So you need to be able to check what's going on with that. Now, we all experience this one. Your program is running slowly. All right. So running slowly. So we are all frustrated when we have a program that is taking forever to do what it needs to do, because obviously time is what? Money. So one easy fix a lot of persons neglect to do, just close the program and reopen it. If possible, to save what you're doing. If it's something that you need to save it, close it, reopen it. Now, if for whatever reason that fix doesn't work, another way to do so is by using your task manager. How many people have ever used the task manager option on the computer? Give me a 2. Have you ever used the task manager option? If not, I'm going to show you where you can find the task manager option. Now, this area is not somewhere you're to tread, like just loose in there and closing up everything, because you don't want to be messing with any program that you're not supposed to be messing with. So pay attention to what you're doing in this area. So let me show you right now. So I'm going to right click on my taskbar and I'm going to go to Task Manager. Now, what Task Manager does, as it says, it's showing you the different programs that you have open on your computer. And what you're going to be doing is that if your program is running slowly, you're going to be checking in your task manager area to see if there is another program that may be so-called maybe hogging the resources. So you're going to be looking on the CPU column and you can look and see, okay, out of the percentages that we have here, which one is hogging a lot of the resources. And right now you notice that Zoom right now is like all over the place. Zoom is using 7.7 at the moment, 8.3, 9.2. It's using up a lot of resources because Zoom is a powerful program. I'm running video, I'm running audio, I'm sharing my screen, I'm sharing my sound. So Zoom is doing a lot. So if I was running another program while Zoom was being used, that particular program may have problems depending on how many resources Zoom is actually hogging. And if it's a case where you can close that particular program, then you would select it right here, and then you would go to end the task. Now, obviously, I'm not going to end Zoom because I need to have it. That's what I'm using to do this presentation. But you would go through and see whatever programs you have on your computer that you do not need to have open and close them. And that should help your program to run more smoothly. All right. So Task Manager is somewhere that you need to get familiar with. But be careful how you trade in this area. You don't want to be going around closing all kind of different things and you're not sure what you're doing. All right. So we make sure that you're in the processes column. Processes column is what you're concerned with. So we all experience a program running slowly from time to time. No, your program is frozen. Whoever we have been using the program and we're looking on it and it's not doing anything. We're saying, okay, what's going on? So once you use a computer, we all experience these problems. So sometimes you have a program that may be stuck. We call it stuck sometimes, or frozen. When this happens, you will not be able to close the window or click on any buttons within the program. So you can still click around on your taskbar and such, but the actual program, you aren't able to click anything in it. So sometimes you may need to force quit the application by pressing, this is another way that you can go into your task manager. You can hold down your CTRL button, which stands for control. So you keep your finger on it. Then you're gonna put your finger on the Alt button. Don't take your finger off of the CTRL. Then you're gonna hold down the delete key. So you have 3 fingers on each of these buttons, one after the other. So you hold down the CTRL, then you hold down the Alt with another finger, and then you hold down the delete with another finger. And I can't show you here because it's not going to show you, but it's going to bring up an area and it will allow you to select the task manager as we did just a while ago. Or if you don't want to go through all of that, it's good to know that particular way to get to task manager. But as you saw, we can right click on our task bar and we go to task manager. So it says now that after all of that, you can, let me just get this out of the way. You can then select the unresponsive program and click end task to close it. So let me show you what that looks like. All right, so let me just get stuff ready here. All right, so what happens is that when we go back to the task manager, when you go to the processes area, you will see your program here and it tends to say not responding. So once it says not responding, or even if it doesn't say that, identify the program that is frozen for you, and then you just select it and click end task, and it will close the program for you. Because sometimes when a program is frozen or it is stuck, you can't close it no matter what you do. You can't right click on it and click close window. None of that is working. So you have to go through the steps of using the task manager to close it. All right, so let me just close that. And if that doesn't work, a good restart tends to fix these problems. So restart the computer. If you're unable to force quit a program, restarting the computer will close all open programs. You tend to get a message that says so and so is running and it's going to be closed if you restart. And you say, yeah, because I need it to close because it's not working. So restarting the computer will help that as well, wherever your program is frozen. So have you all used this particular fix? Who has used this fix when a program is frozen? I remember we're talking about on the computer itself. Who has used this particular fix? It definitely works when your program is stubborn and not doing what it should. Now, all programs on the computer are running slowly. All the programs. So something is up if all of your programs have issues. It's one thing when one program may not be functioning as it should, but if every program you have on the computer has problems, then you may have a virus or some kind of malware on your computer. So you must make sure that you have an antivirus checker and you're going to run it, scan your computer, and it says here you may have malware running in the background and it is slowing things down on your computer. Your computer may be running on low on hard drive space. I'm guilty of this one. Up to last week, guys, I didn't even know it was possible. I got a message that came up on my browser as well as on my computer saying low hard disk space, low on disk space. And I'm saying, okay, I'm usually low on disk space. What is the problem? When I looked, guys, it was like, it said I had like, what was it? 10 megabyte free. Did you know? I had 10 megabytes free, guys. And let me show you how large my storage is. So I'm gonna hit PC. I have a 475 gigabyte, well, 500 gigabyte drive, and I was 10 megabytes free. All right. Yes, Carrie, I was wowed indeed. So 10 megabytes free. So make sure that that doesn't happen to you. You don't want that to happen because it's going to completely slow down your computer and not good. All right. So make sure that that's not happening to you. So you want to make sure that you check through your computer and delete programs that you're not using to avoid that. Now, the reason that happens to me from time to time is that I do video editing. And when I'm creating these videos, they tend to be very large. And if I'm doing multiple videos for a client, they're taking up a lot of space on my computer. And sometimes I forget to purge them or back it up on my external hard drive. There are some videos that I can delete and some videos that I keep in case the client may want to use them again, or I may need something from them. So that's what happened where that's concerned. So try deleting the programs that you don't need, because low hard disk space is not good. It's not good for your computer. So it's not good practice to have your hard drive running really, really low. Now, if your computer itself is frozen, not the programs now, the computer itself is fully frozen, this is what you may need to do. So sometimes your computer may become completely unresponsive or frozen. When this happens, you will not be able to click anywhere on the screen, and you can't open or close programs or access shutdown options. Who has this happened to? Your computer, I forgot how to say the word. Your computer is completely frozen. You can't click on anything. So you can't do any kind of functions or anything like that. You can't do a thing. So a lot of persons don't know that one option that you can do is to what we call force shut down your computer. It's not something that you want to do often, but it is necessary. So Kerry is saying sometimes the blue screen of death. Yes, sir. The blue screen of death. For those who have never experienced this, be thankful. When that blue screen comes up, it's not good. It's not good for your computer. So you don't want to see the blue screen of death. It's usually a fatal error. They just say a fatal error, dead. Fatal error has occurred. So if you have never seen a blue screen, be thankful and hope you never see one. That's not good. Now, how do you do the force shutdown? We call it a hard shutdown or a force shutdown. So to do so, you hold down the power button. So you're going to hold it down until you see the screen go black. So the power button is usually located, as we know, at the front or side of the computer, and hold it down for 5 to 10 seconds, just as a random number, to force shut down your computer. If the computer still will not shut down, of course, this is if you're using like a desktop or such, you can unplug the power cable from the outlet, and that should help. With a laptop, you will have to remove the battery for it to turn off. And if you don't know how to remove the battery, usually it's at the back of your computer, and most batteries have like a little latch that you can slide or such and pull out the battery. So that's the only way that you can get a computer that's on to come off. If you can't, no control, alt delete, no nothing, none of those things are working, you have to hard shut it down. And then I would suggest you wait a few minutes and then you turn it back on and see what's up, if it will come up or if it will come up with any kind of error messages and such. So note, this solution should be the last resort after trying the other suggestions. Hard shutting down your computer is not good for it, so you don't want to be doing so often. But obviously, if your computer is not turning off, you have to do so in order to be able to do what you need to. So who has used the hard shutdown? It's a necessary evil, but it's not something that you want to be doing often. But know that that's the fix if your computer is completely frozen. Now we have mouse, keyboard. Sometimes these stop working. Sometimes people with laptops have an external keyboard that they attach to the laptop if their regular keyboard is not working. So if you're using a wired mouse or keyboard, make sure it's properly plugged into the computer, because if it's loose, it's not going to get the right connection and you are not going to get to use it properly. If you're using a wireless mouse or keyboard, check the batteries. We know that the mouse, if you're one that uses the mouse a lot, then the battery will run down. The current mouse that I have uses batteries, and so far I think I've changed these batteries for the year. So I think I've changed them since this year started, yeah, because I use my mouse a lot. I can use the touchpad, but I don't fancy using it. I'm more comfortable using the mouse. If I need to use a touchpad on the laptop, I do so, but I use my mouse a lot. So a lot of persons feel that if they're moving the mouse and the pointer is going nowhere, what should they do? Oh my God, the mouse is destroyed. It can't work. That. I can't use the mouse anymore. And you throw away the mouse and you have a functional mouse. All you needed to do was change the batteries. So have batteries on stock or in stock. I can never know the battery measurements. What do you call the little one? I said the little one. What is the correct name for it? That's one is the AAA. That help me. Is that the AAA one? All right, good. And you have the AA, which is the common size one. I call that the common size because most things use that. AA is that one. So make sure you have both set depending on what your device uses. All right. So my mouse actually uses the AAA, two AAA batteries. So have them handy so you can change them, because remember, moving the mouse, using the track wheel, all of those things, you're using up the battery power of the mouse. So that could be a reason why it's not working. Same for a keyboard. If the keyboard has any batteries to make it work, then that may be the reason why you're not getting your mouse to function. Now we can't leave out sound. We know that sound definitely is a big problem. Sometimes you're not getting sound. Have you ever even been on YouTube? You're playing a video and no sound. Has that ever happened to you? You're on YouTube. YouTube video is not giving you any sound. You're getting sound from your computer itself, but nothing from YouTube. Sometimes some application programs, you're not getting any sound through that either. So let's discuss some possible reasons for not getting sounds. Now, note that the reason we have this kind of session is that we can't have our device that we're using for earning potential to be giving us trouble, because if we have delays where hardware is concerned, then it's going to cost us jobs that we can earn from. So you have to make sure that the equipment that you're using to earn from is functioning as it should, and know how to do simple troubleshooting things for yourselves. But note that you may have to hire someone to assist you depending on what the problem is. So let's look at the sound is not working. So you need sound, right? So check the sound volume, check the volume level, click the button at the bottom right of the screen to make sure that the sound is turned on and the volume is up. So let's head there so we can see what that's all about. So let me just go right there and bring it up. All right, so let me just bring that up. So I've gone into come out of the slide presentation so I can show you properly. So this is your volume button. When I click on it once with my left mouse button, it brings up the options. So here, if this is pressed, that means it's mute. So once you see a little X beside any volume icon, and this goes for a Facebook video, any kind of video that has the volume icon and it has a little X beside it, it means that it's muted. You're not going to hear one thing. And turning up the volume will tend to make it come off. So if you mute it, you don't have to necessarily click it again to unmute it. Just moving the volume bar will unmute it for you. So when you go to the left, you're turning down the volume. If you go all the way to 0, then it's mute. And if you go all the way up to the right, you're turning up the volume. Also, you have to remember that your ears, you don't want to have it too loud to damage your ears. All right. So if you have it all the way at 100% and you're not hearing properly, that is either you're going deaf or the particular audio that you're listening to is really low. All right. So no, sometimes you have to turn up things really high. All right. So another way you can mess with their volume settings is that when you right click on it, how many people have right click on their volume? Right click on your volume icon. You have an arrow here where you can go into, let me make sure I tell you what it's called. Your open volume mixer. Now in this area here, it shows you your main speaker. So this is where you're getting your main sound. And then you have other applications where sound is coming from. All right, there are other applications where sound is coming from. So right now, let's scroll down, So you have all of these applications. Right now, if I was to do any of these are my what? My Zoom. So if I didn't hear any sound from my Zoom, I can come here and check in and see that these are muted. Let me unmute it fast in case it's messing with the audio. Well, this is actually my output, my speaker. So any sound I have on Zoom, I would not be able to hear it if I muted this. So if someone arrived to the meeting, because you know that you can set it up where you hear when somebody arrives or somebody leaves, I wouldn't be hearing any sound. If you spoke to me, I could not hear you if I muted these. So any application that you have open, you can actually mute that. I have some other programs here open. I can actually mute them and still have sound for other applications because this is my main sound. Now, what I do sometimes, let's say I am on a particular program. For example, I'm on Zoom, but I want to do some other work while on Zoom, but I don't want to hear the volume from Zoom at that point in time. I want to hear the volume from something else. So I may be doing some video editing work and I want to listen to the video that I'm editing to know what parts to cut out or so on. But I'm on a Zoom session, but I don't want to hear the volume from Zoom. This is a good section to come in, and I would just mute Zoom, and I'm not hearing anything that's going on, but I'm still on the session, and I can turn back on the volume when I'm ready to listen again. So always check these areas to make sure that all the applications that you are actually running are on, that they're not muted. Now, they should not mute without you muting them, but as you know, with computers, anything is possible. So you want to make sure that you are checking everything that you should and make sure everything is as it should be where those things are concerned. So it says, check your audio player controls. Many audio and video players will have their own separate audio controls. That's what I was showing you right there. So make sure the sound is turned on and that the volume is turned up. So remember that you saw some volume bars, we can turn them up and down. So let me just show you that in case you had missed that one. You can actually turn up the volume bars. Let's go back there. So right here, when I right click on it, notice that we have the bars here. So I can go up or I can go down. All right, so I usually leave it there in the middle. That's usually the default area. So you just leave it as that is so that you can listen how you need to. So let's look and see what else they say. So check the cables. So if you have any external speakers plugged in, you're not using your actual built-in speakers that come with your computer, you want to make sure that everything is plugged in properly, turned on, and connected to the correct audio port or USB port. Now you have to know the different ports on your laptop. There's a port for mic, there's a port for mouse. You know what I'm talking about. Usually you have well, there are different kind of ports. So different laptops have them in different places, but you have to know what port is for what to know what to plug where. Because if you plug the device into the wrong port, then obviously you're not getting what you need to. And a lot of computers may have color-coded ports to help guide you. So the audio output port will usually be green. Who has ever noticed that? That it's usually green. I'm not sure if most laptops nowadays are having the color codes, but back in the day, they used to have the color codes, and the audio one is usually green so that you can know that, okay, let me plug it into that particular area. Connect headphones to your computer to find out if you can hear sound through the headphones. So you may not be hearing through the speaker itself, but when you plug in the headphones, you're hearing. You just have to do all kind of checks to make sure that you're hearing what you should where the volume is concerned. So sound is very important. You need sound to hear what's going on with what you're doing on your computer. So you don't want to have a soundless computer. That doesn't make any sense. So these are just possible solutions that you can use to check what's happening with your sound. And if all else fails, trust me guys, a good shutdown is very important. You find that sometimes shutting on the computer fixes a lot of these problems, but you don't want to be that shouldn't be the first resort. Do that as a last resort. All right, so you have a blank screen. What causes your screen to be blank? So your computer may be in sleep mode. A lot of our computers go to sleep when it's idle. You have the idle time when you're not using it. So it goes to sleep. So the computer screen may be black. And just simply moving the mouse or pressing any key on your keyboard will wake it up. It's all about the settings on your computer. Some person's computer don't sleep at all. They're always working, right? So in other words, the setting that you have, you may not have it set up to sleep. Now, some persons may wonder, why would you want to set up your computer to sleep? Now, with your monitor, you don't want to have your monitor always on. Back in the day, if your monitor was always on, sometimes it can burn an impression of whatever you have on the screen. So there's a reason that the sleep option is there for that, as well as just conserving energy on the laptop. So check out the sleep options in the settings of your computer so that you can let it sleep, let it rest. If you're not using it, just let it go to sleep. Let it sleep. So make sure that the computer is plugged in and turned on. So that's another reason why you may have your screen off. And if you're using an external monitor, make sure that the monitor cable is properly connected to the laptop. So based on all that we have spoken so far today, have you experienced these problems with your computer? Let me know. Have you ever experienced these problems? While we're presenting, some person says, yes, I was going through that. I've gone through that. I've been through that. Yes, there are some things that I've done and I've been able to troubleshoot and solve them on my own and all these things. Yes, yes, yes. All right. So, and Cindy says almost all. Denise says yes. Georgia says yes. All right. So these are things that you will encounter from time to time. Carrie says yes as well. And you have to know how to go about solving these particular problems so as to not delay your work. You don't want to be delaying your work so that you are, you know, as I said, time is money. So aside from these possible errors that we talked about, there are also program errors, hard drive errors, keyboard or touchpad errors, as well as inconsistent internet signal strength, just to name a few that could be possible problems that you're having with your computer. So sometimes, as I said, you're able to do these troubleshooting problems, but sometimes you may need someone to assist you where this is concerned. So sometimes certain parts on your computer need to be changed to fix some of the problems you heard me talk about. So if you're having a hard drive error, sometimes you need to replace your hard drive. And unless you're a computer technician, how many people can change the hard drive for themselves in their computer? Give me a 3 in the chat. Can you change a hard drive for yourself in your computer? If you can, oh my God, you're great. I'm not a hardware person. I don't pretend. I will teach you how to use the software, but I'm not. You have to know what your expertise is. I am not a hardware person in any way, shape, or form. All right, so Cindy says she's done it in the past. Cindy, trust me, I'm impressed with everything that you're able to do because, yeah, you're remarkable. So not all of us can actually change the hard drive in our computer. So we need someone to help us to do so. All right. So you remember on one of the past ACE Weekly sessions, I had my husband on, Sion Nala. He happens to be my personal computer technician. That's what he does as a profession. And he's actually our resident computer technician in my ACE membership, my ACE with Ava membership, let's ACE 2022 and beyond. He's our resident technician. And if any of the members have any problems, he's there to assist them. We've assisted several members so far. One member needed assistance to get a computer. He was able to source a computer for that member and get it at a reduced cost. Another member, her hard drive crashed. Well, not necessarily crashed, the computer fell. And I don't know if you know that, depending on the kind of hard drive that you have, if you don't have an SSD hard drive, which is a recommended hard drive, if your computer falls, whether it's on or off, it can damage the hard drive and your computer won't turn on because it can't boot up on the hard drive. So that's a problem. So he was able to fix that for that group member at a reduced cost because she was a part of the membership. So if you need any assistance with any problems that you're having with your computer, I'm just going to put an email in the chat that you can contact. This is my husband, who is a computer technician person. I don't know anything about fixing computers. I am the software. I teach you the skills that you can use to create your own earning opportunities, but I know my limitations and I'm not even venturing into that area. So this is his email address. This is sqlala@yahoo.com. All right. So Beverly is saying that he has helped her in the past. Yes, he has helped persons here too in the past for, you know, helping them where their computer is concerned. Now, another thing that I wanted to talk to you about is that, you know, that with your computer, a lot of persons say, okay, I need a new laptop. And by the way, you can send that email. Just let him know that I sent you. Give me a little what call it? Brownie points. Yeah, I sent you. Say, Appa sent me. Just kidding. So sqlala@yahoo.com, and he can assist you. Tell him what your problem is, and he can guide you as to if he can assist you or not. No, the thing is, no, a lot of us feel that we need a new computer. Has your computer been, I sound like a commercial, has your computer been moving slow? Do you have problems opening your programs when you need to? No, I cannot, that voice don't work with that. Well, look no further. So sometimes we want to get a new computer, and sometimes we find that, guess what? We don't need a new computer. You can actually upgrade the parts. Don't laugh at me, Cindy. You can actually upgrade the parts of your computer. So you can get a different hard drive, a better hard drive, a larger hard drive. That upgrade definitely works. For instance, if you are using a 256 hard drive, you can go up to higher than that, 1 terabyte, etc. If you are needing a lot of space, you can upgrade your memory. Memory is very important for how computers move with their speed and such. So simple upgrades of the actual hardware can make you feel as if you have gotten a new computer. And also, have you ever heard about reloading or scratching your computer? So basically, you're starting all over where your computer is concerned. Obviously, you'd back up the information that's on the computer somewhere first before you do so. But that also is a fix that helps you to feel as if you have received a computer. So I've done all of these. I had my computer before I got this new one. I got a new laptop in last year, April, and my computer before that, I had it for almost 9 years. Yep, 9 years. My lappy tappy was going strong. I reloaded, I upgraded, I changed my hard drive, put in more memory. I'm someone who carries my stuff, so it was looking new as well. So you have to make sure that you're taking care of what you need to. All right, so you can also, for my transcriptionists or my transcribers, I was going hard where transcription was concerned. And when I tell you, I had my laptop, remember I told you I had my laptop for like, at that time, no, I had it for, what was it, like 6 years? About that. And I started doing transcription. And you know that for those who don't know transcription, it's a lot of typing. All right, and I'm a touch typist, so I don't need to look on the keyboard. And guys, guess what happened to my keyboard? I didn't even know it was possible. The keys started to rub off. I was going hard on my laptop, man. The keys, luckily I knew the keys out of my head because my A, S, D, F, J, K, L, semicolon were gone. Certain letters that I used often, all the vowels. Vowels, what vowels? Those keys, not the keys, no, the letter on the key was gone. Right? They completely rubbed off. So I had to get a replacement keyboard. So sometimes you may need to do that, and he can assist with that as well. Replacing your keyboard, replacing your hard drive, replacing your memory, getting new memory, reloading your computer. You can just send an email and just tell him what you need done, and he will let you know if he can do that or not. So don't think that you always have to get a new laptop. Sometimes you can upgrade. And if you do need a new laptop, he can also advise you as to what type of laptop to get based on what you are doing with your service. All right. So Cindy says sometimes your laptop gets too hot. Yep. You're running your laptop hot. Overdrive. All right. So I did say that for those who are on live, I don't know if you saw, I did a Facebook live on my page as well as in my Ace It With Ava group. And I let persons know that if you are on this session live, you get a chance to win something special. All right, so drum roll. I don't know what that is. All right, so what you can do, I'm gonna spin a wheel. I'm gonna put your names in a wheel. All the persons who are on the session now, I'm gonna put your names in a wheel, and I'm gonna spin the wheel, and we will see who is the winner. So I did a live class, not when did I do the live class? I think we did live class last year about my top 10 Chrome extensions. Now, for those who don't know about a Chrome extension, an extension is something that you can add to your browser that can make it more efficient, things that you need to do faster and such. And I went through a session telling persons my top 10 Chrome extension browsers. So not browsers, Chrome extensions that you can use, and ones that I use that I find increase my efficiency. So if you're the lucky winner, then you will get this online class that was done. All right, so Nikisha says, hope you can be lucky. All right, so I'm going to show you the behind the scenes. I'm going to set it up right now. So I'm going to go to my wheel. Where's my handy dandy wheel? I'm going to enter your names in the wheel right now, because obviously I could not have entered your names before because I didn't know who was going to come on live on the session. So I'm going to be entering your names in the wheel right now so that I can see which ones have a chance to win this. All right, so let us see what's going on. So I'm going to check, I'm checking through the list right now to see who I see. So I'm going to have to use the name that I see on your Zoom. All right, so I have Angela, I have Arlene, I have Beverly. So Beverly, I have C. Daly. All right, so going down the list quickly. So I have Cassandra. Hi, Cassandra. I have Cindy. I have Denise, Faith, Georgia. Georgia, I can't spell your name apparently. Then I have Carrie. I'm just going to use the first name, even though you have two names on it. I have Lacia. Apparently, I can't spell your name either, Lacia. I have Latoya. Latoya. I have somebody with MG. I have Melissa. I have Nikisha. Nikki. Sandra. All right. And I have Susan. Susan, Vanessa. You know, sometimes I want to have a little fun, right? As people say, I'm unlucky or I'm lucky. We don't know what it is, right? So let's go through. All right. I hope I have all the names. If anybody dropped off, they lost out on this now. So let me see. A long time I haven't used this particular way. Oh, I have Rafisha. Let me put Rafisha. I think let me make sure I have all the names there. So Rafisha. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing any names. That's why I like my name in Ava. Simple. Spell the same way, back way, front way. No problems. And then people still call me Ava. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how short or long. All right. So let's see. Do I have all the names? All right. Anybody doesn't see their name? Anybody doesn't see their name? All right. So let's update the wheel. Let me copy this just in case something went wrong. You know, technology is update the wheel. Yay, there are the names. So we're gonna have one lucky winner of this online class about my top 10 favorite Google Chrome extensions. Ready, set, go! I'm so excited. Let's spin. Let's see, who is the winner? Oh my gosh, Licia. Licia, you are the winner of this session. Licia, was this one of the, did you actually come to this class? Because Licia is one of my top supporters in the classes that I do. So Licia, did you come to this class? Because if you did, then I would have to find something else and give to you. All right, so congratulations, Lacia. People congratulate Lacia on getting particular class. Wow. So Lacia doesn't remember. Well, you have to check and see. Check and see. I think I made a note of the ones who registered for that class. I have to check and see. All right, so congratulations, Lacia, and thank you everyone for joining me live on the session. Cindy saying, do one more. Who says do one more? Do one more? One more? Let me know if you want one more. Cindy's asking for one more. Does anybody else want one more? I can do one more. I can do one more. All right, so let's see who else will be the lucky winner of the same class. The 10, my top 10 favorite Google Chrome extensions. All right, so let's go here. So let me see what's going on here. All right, so Denise says the one more too. All right, ready? One more, one more, one more. I'm just taking out Alicia's name now. She wins twice. Who is it? Vanessa! Vanessa! Congratulations, Vanessa, on winning your chance to see my online course that I did for my top 10 Google Chrome extension. So make sure to put your email. Give me your email. So I'll make sure I have your email, Vanessa. I have Lacia's own already. Give me your email, Vanessa, so that I can send you this. I have everyone's email because you know that I send out the replay, but it saves me going through all of those emails to find yours. So Vanessa, drop your email in the chat area so that I can send you that. So two people, two lucky people won this particular online course that I did last year. It's good to have a little fun, right? Good to have a little fun. I personally have never won anything that I can recall. Like, you know, when I do this kind of stuff, I don't recall being a winner, but it's exciting to have the chance to win. Like we see the wheel, we see the wheel spinning and we say, will it be my name? Will it be my name? It makes you anxious because I feel anxious and I'm not even on the wheel. I should have put my name on the wheel, so don't it? All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me live on this session. Remember, tune in every Sunday at 6:30 for the ACE weekly session. You can never know what I'm going to be doing. I'm doing things that will help you with your online business or just in general, things that you need to know that can help you be beneficial, things that you may not have thought of, things that can make you grow when it comes to your online business or just using the computer and the internet in general. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining me live, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.